Hi everybody! You're just dying to find out why I love these oils, and I am so glad you're here. Thank you for sticking with me a little bit later time than we had thought, but I just want to get right to it and talk you through why today's BOGO of Buy, Passion, Touch, Get, Console for free. So we're going to talk about what these oils are, why the emotional oils, this is part of our emotional aromatherapy set, and how to use them for our emotions and to support ourselves as a tool in our toolbox. So we have a wellness toolbox to care for ourselves and our families and our friends when we're not feeling well, but now we also have an emotional wellness toolbox too. As we know, the oils help a lot with calming and de-stressing, and we're going to talk a little bit about why that is, and we're also going to talk a little bit about how to use them and how I use them, and other people I know in our team use them too. So first of all, essential oils are volatile aromatic compounds extracted from plants, steam distilled, or in citrus oils they're pressed, and they're very concentrated. You only need 1 or 2 drops to create a to penetrate your skin and to get working into the bloodstream and working at the cellular level, as well as just even breathing it in. And I'm going to talk a little bit about aroma. So aroma can have an effect on our emotions. Now, because of the complexities of the human brain, there are certain aromas that can elicit different emotions by triggering memories and stimulating some sort of like an emotional response. So for instance, you smell something. I could sometimes be walking in the city and it will remind me of being in India when I was a kid and visiting, just a certain smell. And I'm like, that reminds me of India. So you may have that too. You can comment. I would love to hear if you can comment below if you've had that where you smell something and it reminds you of something else. A common one might be mothballs, might remind you of grandma's attic, kind of in a stereotypical sense, but on a true sense too. So comment below if you have if you can share with us a memory that will, when you smell something, will trigger a memory. Now, you might want to know the science about why that happens, and this concept is known as the Proust phenomenon. And it suggests that although we have different memories and experiences, everyone has the ability to experience a distinct, like a response when you inhale that aroma. So we all have some sort of response. It may be different, but there is something that happens when we smell. So when we inhale that distinct aroma, that scent is processed through the brain's olfactory system, and then the sensory system responsible for controlling our sense of smell, and that olfactory system is connected to the limbic system of our brain. So that's an area of their brain where memories and our emotions are stored. Now, at this point, the limbic system produces a response, like a very distinct response to that aroma, based on the memories that are associated with that particular smell, creating a rush, a really quick, it just comes very quickly, a rush of feelings that follow. So sometimes we might have bad memories associated with it. So I remember one time that my husband said he smelled something, I think it was a perfume or body product that I used many years ago, and it reminded him at a time in our relationship we were not doing so well, and I was using that same product. And so isn't that interesting that that smell kind of, it reminded him. It doesn't mean that we are a slave to the smells, because we weren't actually back in that emotional state, but it just was amazing how that, I think it was just a deodorant with a strong baby powder scent or something that I was using reminded him of that time. So I just thought that was really interesting that was for him and a response that of maybe not of a good experience. So getting back to that. Okay, so Janice, I'm glad you're here. Stay as long as you can. The replay will be up. Okay, so let's keep going on. So okay, so what I said was that there's going to be a rush of feelings that follow. So essential oils can produce responses that can be used to enhance our well-being and manage our emotions. So how do we use emotional aromatherapy to handle our emotions? And one of the things is that, just to let you know, just because it has a title on the oil, for instance, doTERRA's emotional aromatherapy oils, I'll go ahead and post the link of a wheel that shows the whole thing in the comments. But just because it says if you're feeling grief, use this oil, it doesn't mean that it's going to take away the grief. It doesn't mean that we are just, it's a fix or a band-aid, or that using this oil, it totally takes away my problems. It's just a tool that we have in our toolbox to care, like a sort of a self-care thing, like going for a walk, getting out in fresh air, eating good food, not eating junk, not eating a lot of sugar and stuff, giving protein. When you're going through grief, you stop eating, and then that just, you feel emaciated emotionally and physically, or make you feel sick to eat. So our emotions do have a physical component. I don't know if you ever had that anxiety in the pit of your stomach kind of feeling, just immediately. And a lot of that has to do with our hormones and our endocrine system and different responses that happen of cortisol being released, and serotonin, which is actually released in our gut. Quite the majority of it is released in our abdomen and our intestinal tract. So when we have feelings of stress, we're feeling it. It's not just an imagination, there is actually a physiological response in our body. So even biblically, I remember my pastor Alan Harris many years ago said that there are two emotions that the Bible talks about affecting us physically, and one is bitterness. Bitterness can go deep as a root and go down deep in you and put these roots out that can just rip you apart and create a lot of stress. And that's not the scripture. I'll find the scripture too and put that in there. And the second way is anxiety. Anxiety was the Psalms and the Proverbs are eat away at your bones. So anxiety was mentioned as eating away at your bones in the Bible. And I thought that was really interesting that even that our pastor mentioned that many years ago. And it just stuck with me. I never forgot that our emotions can affect us physically. I just couldn't believe that. But as we know with essential oils, we know that there are certain oils that affect our health and our immune system and inflammation and have an effect on our body. They also can have an effect on our emotions. Now, the way, whether there's some good science, neuroscience that's coming about, and maybe you're going to look into it yourself and don't take my word for it. I want you to do your own research. But the neuroscience shows that there are chemicals in our body that are actually our emotions. It can be the chemical of emotions is basically the idea. And I know that my son and I, who's a philosophy major, he really has there's a strong bent against just saying it's all science. Emotions are all science. And I don't think that's it. I think that it's not one or the other. So I'm going to talk about how you can use these oils that are great for your physical health, for your emotional health. Because if God did create our emotions and created us, there's a way that he did that. And that pathway happens to be chemicals. And of course, that's kind of where I'm going with this. So let me go ahead and go into the next part. So let's talk about passion. So passion is a great oil. It has a lot of oils that are actually very helpful for our immune system. It's cinnamon. It has clove. Clove is a very high antioxidant and helps also with hormonal balance, very helpful on your thyroid area. It has cinnamon, which is, of course, incredible for not only warming the skin, but physically also providing immune system boost. Those two are great oils. So keep this in mind. If you don't have On Guard, which is our protective blend for environmental threats, or where you feel like you might be coming down with the ickies, or you've been exposed to a lot of things, or you've been traveling, just know that you have passion and that has cinnamon and clove. So use that preventatively throughout travels. If you have your oils with you, know that there's just because it says passion doesn't mean that you can't use it for other things. Other thing that it has is cardamom, which is very good for breathing. Cardamom has 1,8 cineol, not as high as eucalyptus, but excellent anyway for breathing support. I use cardamom straight on my chest when I'm having asthmatic symptoms. Very effective for me. Ginger is very warming, and that's going to be talking a little bit what it does to the skin too. But it's also, it helps with just very cozy, kind of loving feelings. When you smell ginger, it makes you feel warm. Now, there's also sandalwood and jasmine, which is actually an oil you can't buy through doTERRA. It has vanilla and then damiana. Damiana is a leaf that's an herb that's really from the Mayan and Aztec people, and you can't buy it, I think, really around the world. I don't think it's sourced well. In fact, I saw Dr. Pappas on a sourcing trip talking about this is one of the best places that doTERRA gets Damiana leaf. And it's been used by the ancient Mayan Aztec people to promote stronger feelings of affection. It's often used to help reduce feelings of anxiety and promote relaxation. Actually, Dr. Pappas said it's a very good libido support herb. So that is in this also. So I just want to let you know a little bit about what's in it. So now let's talk about how to use it. First of all, even for issues of warming your feet, if you struggle with people who have their feet get a little not good circulation or a little cold a lot, then you might want to use this on your feet every day, preventively or when you need it. And it helps bring warmth with the ginger, the cinnamon, and the clove. It's bringing blood flow to the area, so it's helping with circulation. It also helps with sluggish digestion and elimination, so you can even apply it down there. Again, also great for clearing lung and sinus congestion. I just be real careful because of the warmth. Try it before you put on delicate skin, so try it out first. I actually love it all over, and I have no problems. Well, if you're using it on children, definitely test it out on their inner thigh. Whenever you try a new oil, not inner thigh, inner arm, always test it out on someone. But it is very gentle. I find it lovely. It's diluted already for safe for kids and adults and those with sensitive skin or the elderly. So it's ready to go. It also helps clear mental fog, and when you feel apathetic or maybe low feelings or sad feelings, it helps you really kind of get up and go. And get up and go emotionally, get up and go with your passion, and get up and with your goals, getting out the door, kind of getting a fresh start. But it also helps with feelings of physical libido issues too. So I'm going to go talk a little bit about that right now. Hold on one second. So I wrote out these notes. I don't want to forget anything, especially if I'm talking about libido. I want to make sure I don't say too much. So basically, it's already diluted. So this can be rubbed on the thighs or the lower abdomen, and then on the wrists and the pulse points. So the wrists, the creases of the elbow, and your neck. It is very effective, and after one or two times of an oil used in a good way and that's effective for the bedroom, you're going to find that when you smell it, or even a little bit right here, it helps elicit those good feelings. Remember we talked about memory recall and emotions? So it's not just any oil. Like I could pick up peppermint, smell it, and then do something. Okay, but peppermint has menthol and other things that are alert and will wake you up and help cool the body. But there are actually oils in here that are very good for whatever that we're talking about, energy and passion. So you want to use it when you know you need the products, the chemical compounds in the oil, but also know you're creating good memories and memory pathway that you need it. And sometimes I can just smell it, and it just helps me to be ready for that. Another one of our members has talked highly about this oil, and we both were surprised that we both shared when someone asked in a group class, what helps in the bedroom? And we both were like, this oil, passion. And we both looked at each other like, we need to talk about how we use this oil. And I have permission to share from her, but what she and her husband do, that they dilute, you can also buy it as a special bottle, like its own 5 ml bottle, passion. And I highly recommend maybe buying this after you get this, buy it in the bottle, and then you can refill it based on your comfort level. And I can help you with safety amounts for that later. But they just use the straight oil and dilute it and rub on the inner thighs. And it works both for men and women. And they find that is very, very wonderful to their relationship. For me, I didn't even think about that. Whoops, did I say me? Okay, I just admitted that. Okay. For other people I know, I don't know who, I just like it on the pulse points and then other places that I mentioned. Okay, I'm going to move on now before I start blushing. Okay, so let me go on. Console. Let's do Console, because I need some Console right now. I'm just like a mess. Okay. All right, so Console. Oils that are in Console this is known for, let me just go over that right now. So basically, it's called the Comforting Blend. By the way, you guys can have, and I see several of you with me, ask questions, please. I would love to answer that for you. So actually, Console is wonderful for skin. The first ingredient, it's frankincense and patchouli. Patchouli is wonderful for redness in the skin too, just in general. If you have acne or just red spots or red issues, lavender, patchouli, clary sage are great for that skin. So it has frankincense, patchouli, it has ylang ylang, beautiful, labdanum, amorous, sandalwood, again, beautiful for skin and hair. Rose flower, which you can't even buy rose oil, it's in there, and osmanthus flower. And so it's wonderful for skin and wrinkles, or if you're out and about and your kids get hurt and get boo-boos, try Console. It doesn't have lavender, but it has that patchouli and, of course, frankincense, which is part of our Owie blend. Also, it helps with feelings of, so that's like a hack with this oil, but with the Comforting Blend, I found it very helpful. We have a friend who took this to someone who was about to go into an MRI and was very scared and very tense. So she was with her, and the woman applied this to her chest before she went into the MRI, and she was able to totally take a relax and be able to withstand something that was causing an extreme anxiety producing environment. So by smelling something, it does have that positive impact, even if she didn't have any memories associated with this. Just the chemical compounds that are in there of frankincense and those other oils are very calming. Also helps if you're having lung and cough issues, very good for clearing bronchial and lung, as far as the frankincense. Also in sandalwood is wonderful for sore throats and issues of lungs issues. So this is great too. Did you know that it also helps with irregular or imbalanced heartbeats, just helping to relax that by putting that over your heart. It's very diluted. It's not going to cause anything that's your body's not already doing. It's just encouraging your body to come into homeostasis. It supports proper brain function because of the frankincense and the patchouli. It helps provide emotional release and reassurance. It's kind of like you might see pictures on the internet. Console is like a hug in a bottle. The hug is, I have used this when I felt very, very stressed over my heart. I think I highly recommend it there because it does have an effect on that area physically, but also emotionally, and I can smell it. It's in kind of the steam of my shirt and the tent effect, like so I can smell it and wafting, and it's diffusing, and it's amazing, and it really does help calming extreme stress. It doesn't take away when sad things happen, it does not take it away. And if you are going through a hard time, I want you to know that I am not saying an oil is going to take away your problems or make any kind of claims. I want to know that I care for you, and I want you to know that we're here for you, and that one of the tools in your toolbox could be an essential oil, and people have found this very helpful. Also, I have heard that it's helpful for urinary tract infection and constipation applied topically. I have not personally done that, but this is what I've been reading in my research. And then also, because of the frankincense and the patchouli and sandalwood, that has been used a lot in practices of prayer, as well as some people in the Eastern world with meditation. So I just want to let you know there's different ways of people using console. Okay, so thank you very much. Any more questions, I want you to please comment below, but I'm going to tell you how to get this. So for retail, it's $36.67. That's how much it costs just to buy Passion, okay? So that's how much it is when you want to buy this again at retail. But we're giving you a free bottle of Console. So this is wonderful, for two for the price of one. So really that's about $17 or $18 for each of them. Now, if you buy wholesale, it's about $9 cheaper. It's pretty significant. So it's $27.25 for this, and they give you a free bottle of that. So it's about $13 and some change for each of them. $13 is what you might give for a gift or a stocking stuffer or something to have. These don't go bad, especially if you don't like throw them out in the sun and hot sun, extreme weather temperatures, but they're already sealed. If they're kept sealed, you can keep these for Christmas. Christmas done for teachers or for other nice gifts that you're buying, neighbors or whoever you're buying for, BFFs, mother-in-laws. And now I'm going to talk about why that's helpful for thinking about Christmas. Okay, let's be truthful. The EPA.gov, I have a website which talks about endocrine disruptors, and the fragrance industry can just write fragrance on any of their products. Even the perfume industry, they don't have to list. There's hundreds and hundreds of compounds they can use, and we don't know when we buy perfume off the shelf, we don't know if they can say it's pure, and they may have pure ingredients, but as we know, there's only a certain percentage, and there's really no standard for the perfume industry, and especially with scents. And what we're finding is that scents, because we're breathing it in, it affects us, whether it's something natural like an essential oil or something unnatural like a synthetic scent. They're having their effect on your body, but it's not just smelling it. We're actually touching it. We're putting it in all of our skincare products. Hundreds of chemical compounds in a young post-pubescent, I guess you would say teenage or young adult woman. There's like hundreds of compounds that women are using every day during their child rearing and child developing stages at hundreds a day, and they're not regulated. And so what we're finding is that, for instance, triclosan was just banned in hand soap, but triclosan is still in toothpaste, and they're finding that it's not only a harm to us, but it's into the waterways, it's into fish. They're finding a lot of fish that are having it. It's in our gut. The big study is your microbiome, your intestinal health is being affected by the chemicals we're using, not just triclosan, but other ones too. So what I would like to encourage you to do is think about trying to replace your perfumes and your scented body sprays and even your deodorant with more natural plant-based options that are effective and work. We want them to work. We don't want to stink and put it on, smell great, and then go out and half the day we don't make it. Then people are like, that essential oils, patchouli and BO is just no good, right? No, we want it to work, and they work. And I have more advice about that later, but we want them to be pure, and we're putting it in our body. It gets in our bloodstream, it affects the amount of bacteria in our microbiome. So the good bacteria is being affected and being diminished by the chemicals that we're exposed to on a daily basis. So we want to stop that assault and stop right now with perfumes. I want you to really look at that. Go to the Think Dirty app. It's free through the Environmental Working Group. Download it onto your device and go into your bathroom and go ahead and take a picture of the UPC, the codes on the back, and then go ahead and see what it says, the Environmental Working Group says about that product. And you'll be surprised at how dirty your products might be considered to be. Now, the other thing is, the last thing is we're going to talk a little bit about that. So in August, our group is doing a cleanse, a doTERRA cleanse. It is excellent for helping to kind of write naturally, very gently, nothing crazy, our microbiome, our intestinal health. It starts August 1st to August 31st, and it's August 30th, and it's going to be, we're going to have a kickoff. I'm going to explain it all, even if you don't have the products. I'm going to explain it this Saturday from 2 to 4 p.m. at a local coffee shop. I'll put the link in the comments. I'm going to have a class for you, and we're going to do a make and take. And it's going to be a Epsom salt bath with essential oils, and you're going to take some home with you, and we're going to talk about why magnesium and Epsom salts are so good for you, especially for sleep, stress, as well as how that can help you with your whole body kind of rewriting itself in the next month of August 1st. I also have planned in August in a special Facebook group just for the cleanse. We haven't even opened it yet. When it opens up, I want you to join. And we're going to have interviews with health coaches. I have a woman on our team whose husband runs a lawn service, and he does organic fertilizer and does treatment, not just like manure. I'm talking the stuff you can buy and help with treat your grass. And if you're local, I'll give you his contact, but we're going to interview him about how we can green up our outside living spaces. Then we're going to talk about how to green up our food and how to help make good choices there. And we're also going to talk about how to green up our cleaning supplies. And then we're going to talk about how to green up our body care. And there'll be some DIY tips, there'll be some interviews and some demos all throughout the month. They'll be really fun. But the kickoff in person is Saturday from 2 to 4 at the local coffee shop. And from 4 to 5 is an Essential 101 class at the local coffee shop. So that's something local. Next Monday is going to be our special I have my BOGOs, Now What, and Intro to Oils class. So I want you to know that next Monday is going to really be exciting. Look for information 8 p.m. Monday night online, and we'll get a link for that on Monday in our group. And the last thing to end with is that if you want to buy these oils, here's how you do it. You just comment below in the main post in our group that you want it, and then we'll message you and talk with you. If you guys if you guys are a member and you are not a member and you order today, I'm going to raffle off the mud mask, which is 10% off this month. So you can even add that to your order. But it is amazing. I've gotten a lot of good responses from people from my skin, and my daughter with lots of acne loves it. So I recommend this. See, this is hers. See how much she loves it so much. So this is hers. I'm sorry I didn't clean it up, but yeah. So that is something that I'm giving away. And if you are not a member and you place a retail order, later today I'm going to do a raffle, and you're going to get a free wholesale membership. So that will now become wholesale pricing for the Passion Oil and Console, and $35 towards $35 will be paid for by me for your membership, to be wholesale pricing all year long. You don't have to order anything else, but you will get a free wellness consult from me, and you are from our team, whoever our team members, and then you're also going to learn about essential oils in a more private setting, looking at your health goals, see how you can use the oils that you have and what needs you might have and how to use them safely. So that is a free membership that I'm going to be giving away today. So place your order. Any other questions? Yes, you can use it on sensitive skin, which on Console or Passion. These are already diluted for skin sensitivity for small children as well as adults or elderly, and so they're safe to use. In fact, I just saw that Essential Oil Vet, a veterinarian, recommend this highly for pets even. So yes, like dilute it a little bit on your hand. You can dilute it for cats. You absolutely have to dilute it, but she said it's safe for cats. Console, she's talking about, and she was able to apply on the back of their pets during some times of grief. I use Serenity for my pets. Amazing results with lavender and Serenity for my dog. Yes, anything else? Okay, Passion also very gentle. So for instance, I told you when I want to get amorous. I will put a little bit on my finger and just smelling that. Now, does this make me go, no, it doesn't. But because I know I'm going into a setting that this is appropriate, it does for me. But what I'm trying to tell you is that you don't have to use it for that. Just anytime you feel, it's a wonderful perfume. It has a lovely cinnamon and sandalwood and a little bit of a herb and a little floral scent. It's actually beautiful as a perfume. Both of them are, and they're potent enough to be scented through most of the day. So, and it provides a health benefit. Yeah, you're welcome. Any other questions? Okay, so you're going to go ahead and order that today. Retail $36.67, wholesale $27.25. And if you're a retail member, going to buy it retail, you might get a free membership today. And if you're buying it as wholesale, then you're going to pilot your as retail. If anyone buys it retail or wholesale, doesn't matter. You all go in for a giveaway for this. So I'll talk to you later. Thank you. Ask more questions below and I'll reply.